All right. Good morning. So we are live. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hopefully, you are doing well. Just going through our weekly webinar here. I'm going to share my screen here real quick. So just give me 1 second here. Okay, so just going to go over what we look for with our motel to apartments here, what our buy box is, what we're doing, and whatnot. So we're just going to talk about a little bit about where we're at, where we're going, what areas we look in. So some of our target markets are Texas, Arizona, Southeast, so Charlotte, Raleigh, Florida area, Atlanta, Georgia. So those are some of our target markets that we're looking for. What do we look for in a property? So number one question we look for, hey, what are you looking for? So here's basically some specs that you can kind of jot down on what we look for. 1980s or newer, room size, minimum 300 square feet, amenities. We want it to be flexible. So what does that mean? Since we're looking in Sunbelt states, we want flexible amenities, so pool, outside walking area or sitting areas. We're looking for flex space if possible, maybe workspace for people that are going to be staying at our properties. Also, workout facility, laundry facilities is also something we also look for. And then room count. So one of the things that we look for as far as a property is we really want to try to get a property that at least has 100 doors. Now, we would consider sub 100 if the right deal came along, just because the cost of the add value, the rehabilitation of a property, if you have like 75 to 80 doors versus 100 doors, the cost isn't that much difference. It's pretty close. We just want more rooms at that point. Room type, we want rooms with kitchenettes. That's preferred. We are flexible, but we need to hit that room size of 300 square feet. That's what we're looking for. And then, we want a building height. I wouldn't say probably no more than 4 stories. Anything more than that, you're going to be in a super urban area, and it's going to be a completely different type of asset than what we're looking for. Okay, so we talked a little bit about location preferences. So some key indicators, healthcare. We want healthcare hospitals, doctors, things of that nature close by, within a 5 mile, and then close to education, universities, also retail centers. So shopping areas, of Walmarts, the Targets, things of that nature. And then transportation. A lot of the big cities have some sort of either elevated train or light rail, busing. Busing is probably the number one thing. So an access to a bus route or close by to where someone can easily walk to a bus to be able to access public transportation. And then the A retailers, Costco, Sam's Club, Target, A-class, A-class retail. The reason we look for that is they've done a lot of the legwork and research to be in that area. And so if they're in that area, that's an area we want to kind of piggyback off of what they're doing. And that just means people. That means possible residents, possible people that are going to be leasing our properties. And then proximity to an international airport. Depending on the city, we like to be in a 5 mile radius, just depending how large the city is. A city, I live in the Phoenix metropolitan area, Phoenix, Arizona area. It actually has the largest square footprint of any major city in the country. And so I'm about 20 miles from the airport, which isn't really that far. I'm about maybe a 25-minute, 30-minute commute. I would say, depending on the size of the city, an easy commute under 30 minutes is kind of what we're looking for. Depending on the size of the city. If it's a smaller city, like we have a property that we're working on in Brownsville, Texas, it's a few 100,000 people. Obviously, we want to be kind of in that 5-mile proximity, depending on the size of the city. Okay, so we were talking about proximity just a second ago. So hospitals, universities, shopping, retail, all 1 to 5 miles. Medical, industrial, business complexes, and those means jobs. So we want to be in close proximity of major complexes that that means jobs, employment, things of that nature. And we talked about public transportation, 1 to 2 miles, and then Costco, Target, Walmart. Those are the major retailers. As far as food, shopping, things of that nature. We want to be close enough to where it might be a short drive, short commute, or a short walk to be able to get to those. Okay, so when we acquire a property, it's usually cash, deeply discounted cash closings, seller financing. It's something that we do that's what we prefer to do. Cash typically, it's going to be fast. It's going to be deeply discounted, and that works. But a lot of times, that doesn't work for a seller, and we don't want to be a one-trick pony. So we add seller financing in there to create a creative acquisition to where there's some cash at the table, and then the seller gets cash as we go on. And so we can create a lot of creative scenarios in order to do that. Bank financing. So with bank financing, it's a tricky deal depending on the property and where it is. There's a lot of hurdles and hoops to jump through, longer due diligence, longer escrows. It can be done, but at the end of the day, a lot of it's out of our control, which makes it difficult to proceed when we're basically waiting by the phone or waiting by the computer for a bank to make a decision. So not that it can't be done, but just know that it's going to take much longer time period in order to make that happen. And then the last thing we can do is do a joint venture with the current owner. We can be flexible in those terms. We can help operate the property. They can operate the property, still bring in cash, and then we bring in the rest, the renovation cost to be able to update the property. Okay, so basically our approach is we identify a property, we evaluate its assets and what it is currently and what it could become, and then we look at the location and what the potential of the property is going to be, and then we acquire on negotiated terms that work for both the buyer and the seller, and then we transform the property into a desirable, flexible living apartment complex. Okay, so you can contact us. That's my cell phone, 623-695-0940. Email info@motelstoapartments.com and then motelstoapartments.com. So that's what we're looking for. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always available. When in doubt, go ahead and send us the deal. If it doesn't meet our exact criteria, that's okay. We can take a look at it, maybe give you some feedback. It might end up being a property that might work for us. So we're always looking. So feel free to reach out to us. Check us out at motelstoapartments.com. And I hope everyone has a wonderful, great day.
Welcome to your new home in McAllen, Texas.
This place used to be totally different. We took 29 motel rooms that were dated. Remember, these were built in the 50s, and we turned them around. We gutted these down to the studs. We replaced the electrical. We replaced the plumbing. We even added gas lines. And now we have a beautiful 29-unit multifamily. So bear with me, there's a lot that we're packaging into this one offer for the resident. In this motel to apartment conversion, we have sewer, water, trash, electric, internet, washer, dryer, dishwasher, microwave, oven, stove, all included for just one monthly fee.
Y no se preocupe, nosotros hablamos español. Go ahead and go to studiosonfourth.com, check out the floor plans that we have available, and submit your information. And just a friendly reminder, we have everything included: sewer, water, trash, electric, utilities, even fiber high-speed internet. Submit your info and we'll get back to you. Welcome home.